Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and in this video I will be comparing the iPhone 14 to the Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. I will go over their camera specifications and the price and more all in this video. So let's get right into it. As far as the design of the overall iPhone 14, we'll start with that one first. Well, the iPhone 14, you can't buy new anymore from Apple, as this iPhone has been out for a couple of years. So you can no longer buy it new anymore from Apple. But as far as the overall design, I will go ahead and take off the case. As far as the overall design, well, you see here, we have the diagonal camera. And we also have the smaller notch. And we do have, I think these are stainless steel sides with the aluminum back. But we do have some really great sides, and the back is in good condition. So as far as their overall camera specifications on the iPhone 14, well, the iPhone 14 on the rear has two 12 megapixel cameras. It has an ultra wide camera, f1.5 aperture, and a wide, or an ultra wide f2.4 rather, and a wide f1.5 aperture. Both are 12 megapixels, and the iPhone 14 can record in cinematic mode up to 4K 30. And we also have action mode with image stabilization as well. And on the front-facing camera, we also have a 12 megapixel f1.9 aperture. Now, taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy A15 5G, we have on here a 50 megapixel f1.8 aperture, a 5 megapixel f2.2 aperture, and a macro camera 2 megapixel f2.4 and a 13 megapixel f2.0 aperture. I will go ahead and get some camera tests for you guys right now. Here I am recording off of the 12 megapixel wide camera, which is an f1.5 aperture. And here is the ultra-wide f2.4. You can see my iPad, which I'm recording off of, and the Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. So here I am recording in cinematic mode 4K 30. Now, I'm not noticing much of a difference, but from what I'm understanding is it can blur out maybe the background. So if I go ahead and grab, say, my Xbox controller here and put it in the background here, I'm not really noticing any blur. Leave a comment down below if you guys can tell if there is some blur. Maybe if you look at the photo, it might be a little bit blurry. I can tell it's a photo there, but I'm noticing to see if there is a difference. And not really noticing much. But that's what cinematic mode is supposed to do. Here I am recording off of the 12 megapixel f1.9 aperture camera on the iPhone 14. It's great for Zoom calls and FaceTime calls and different things like that. Here I am recording off of, I believe this is the wide camera. So the 50 megapixel wide camera, which is an f1.8 aperture. Now, the annoying thing is to switch camera lenses, you actually have to stop recording, which is unfortunate for the Galaxy. It's not a seamless sort of, you have to stop recording and then switch lenses. Here I am recording now out of the wide, ultra wide camera, 5 megapixels, which is an f2.2 aperture. You can see my iPhone 14. It does look washed out on camera. For that purpose, if you're going to use this to film other devices, I'd say probably an iPhone is more of a better deal because, you know, this will somewhat look washed out on camera, but this is my iPhone 14. So you guys can see it as I'm recording off of the Samsung Galaxy A15. Here I am recording off of the 13 megapixel f2.0 aperture on the Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. This is a great camera, but I would say in terms of filming, using it as a camera to film tech reviews, phones will look washed out on camera, I guess because it doesn't have the best quality to film devices. Apple's cameras are better for that particular thing, but the fact that you have to switch lenses or stop recording to switch lenses is a letdown, because on the iPhone, you can switch lenses pretty seamlessly while still recording. So that's an A+ for the iPhone and a C+ for the Galaxy, because that's a bit of a disappointment. The fact that you have to stop recording to switch lenses. It would be great to have the ability to switch camera lenses while recording like you can on the iPhone, but I guess the Galaxy doesn't have the necessary processing power to be able to do that. Now, I can't record out of the macro camera on the Samsung Galaxy A15, but that camera is used for picture taking, and I took a picture of the iPhone 14, and looking at the photo here, if we go into it here, it is really nice. You can see it's kind of hard using this one hand, as they don't make tripods for the iPad here. But you can see that this is the macro photo I took of the iPhone 14. Now, as far as a speaker test, let me just turn the sound down on both so that I don't get copyrighted, just in case if there's any advertisements here. We go into YouTube on both, and I just play the latest video that I uploaded on my channel. And we'll start with the Samsung Galaxy A15 first. The iPhone 17e. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what you need to know with this particular device. Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and now I'm going to play the speakers from the iPhone 14. Now, what do you need to know about this? Apple just released the iPhone 17e, and in this video, I'm going to talk about what you need to know. I'm not noticing that much of a difference. I mean, though I will say the iPhone 14 might have slightly better speakers. I know for sure better camera quality, because you saw how washed out the phone looked on the Galaxy's camera. Now, as far as colors for both, well, the Galaxy A15 comes in a couple colors. It comes in light blue, blue and yellow, while the iPhone 14, you can get that device in the colors of, it comes in midnight, which is this color. It also comes in starlight, which is white, red, purple, along with blue, and a surprise color that came in 2023, yellow. So you can get those on the iPhone 14 and the Galaxy A15. As far as processing power on both, well, the iPhone 14 has the Apple A15 Bionic chip with 6 gigabytes of RAM, as well as the Samsung Galaxy A15 has the MediaTek Dimensity 6100 Plus processor, because this is the 5G model. I'm not exactly sure the RAM, as that can be depending on which storage configuration or region you are in. Same with the processor or the specific 5G model rather. But as far as storage on both, well, the Galaxy has between 64 and 256, and pricing for it is $75 to $110. It's more affordable, whereas the iPhone 14 can start at as low as $270 and go all the way up to $430, which is for 128 gigabytes up to 512 gigabytes. It would make more sense to go with the iPhone 14 in terms of storage, because 64 gigs is, well, I upgraded from 64 gigs, though my iPad, which I'm recording off of, is 64 gigs, so I will have to airdrop these files to my iPhone here and upload them and edit them in CapCut. Though I would not recommend a 64 gig device to anyone. I upgraded from that with my iPhone 12, which is why I have the iPhone 14, because overall it is a better storage. Now, as far as which phone I think you should go for, well, that honestly depends on what you want the most. If you don't care about the fact that, number one, you have to stop recording to switch camera modes. Number two, you're okay with 64 or 128 if you can afford it on the Galaxy. And number three, you want to be more affordable, then I'd say the Samsung Galaxy A15 is more budget friendly. Though, if you want to still have a phone that will get you reliability, years of updates, more storage, and overall better cameras that you don't have to stop recording to switch, the iPhone 14 is honestly a better choice. Because you get a couple more things. You get cinematic mode, you get emergency SOS via satellite, you get action mode with image stabilization. Overall, you get some better things overall. Leave a comment down below, which phone would you go for? Me personally, I would go for the iPhone 14, but leave a comment down below which one is your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will have a 1 week later video tomorrow on this particular iPhone. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.